I can speak specifically to OneDay. I know that OneDay was created to ensure that every resident had the opportunity to tell their story, right? It truly is a storytelling platform. And that was the intent behind it, to make sure that every resident had the opportunity to share and cascade their message from when they were younger to their families, so that they always had a keepsake, something meaningful that they could replay over and over again. But what we found in the space was an opportunity to also to accelerate the sales cycle, to help progress a prospect from the very beginning, the infancy stage of their inquiry, all the way to meaningful connections, in person of course, but then followed up by video connections that help move them along the stages of change, up to ultimately a decision. And we hope that decision is always with us, of course. But even more so, the COVID pandemic really required a lot of communities, as we know, to shift to virtual tours. So we saw certainly an uptick at OneDay of organizations that were utilizing OneDay for video tours. And so now that folks are allowed to come back inside of the communities, it's almost retraining the teams who are our clients to be able to utilize this in many different ways that they did prior to COVID, but had maybe become very comfortable using it just for video tours. And so we're educating on how we engage with our prospects. But one way that we've seen a lot of significant movement is really in the recruitment aspect. So a lot of our partners are starting to implement more of a regimen around accelerating the candidate's life cycle until they become an actual employee. So one of our partners actually has a trigger built into their their talent acquisition platform, that when an application is submitted there, they get a OneDay video back stating, "This is Lacy. Thanks so much for sending in your application. We'll be reviewing this within the next 24 hours, and somebody will be contacting you in 48 hours."
Huge.
Right? Instant gratification. We all want that. It's just like the thank you landing page from our marketing automation platforms, right? Or our form fills that we have on our website. And so that then provides, it kind of satiates that applicant, that lets them know, okay, well, if I don't hear anything for 48 hours, that's okay, because that's what they told me. And it also creates that connection. Moving that candidate through further, right? We might finally get to that point where, okay, we want them to come in for an interview. How many times do we schedule an interview only for that person not to show up, right? Very often it happens in this industry. And so it's really important, again, to create that conversation and that connection with somebody. So the hiring manager might send a video that says, "Hi, I'm Lucas. I'm going to be the one that's meeting with you tomorrow. I can't wait to have a conversation with you and learn more about you. Your resume just really speaks for itself. Here's where you're going to come in," and maybe a quick little video on where you're going to park, how you're going to come up to the front desk, and how that they'll be ready for you, waiting and ready for you to join for the interview. So that's one way that we're seeing folks start to use video in the recruitment aspect, but also then once they start with their organization, it's often that first 24 hours may cause them not to want to come back because something went wrong and they can get a job somewhere else, or for whatever reason they don't feel a connection on that first day. So we've seen a lot of partners starting to implement as well, once they're an associate, that video that says within first 24 hours, "Oh my gosh, this is Lacy. Maybe I'm the supervisor. This is Lacy. I have heard such great things about you from your trainer, and we are so excited for the contribution that you've already done and all the things that you're going to bring to us here at our organization." And it's just that meaningful touch that says, "I hear you. You're special. You're important," and we all want to feel that connection. And the last piece I'll leave with you for the recruitment as well as retention piece is also thinking about that overnight shift. Oftentimes that is the neglected shift when it comes to frontline associates, right? We see our housekeepers during the day, typically our maintenance, we see our day shifts, and so many other team members. But that overnight shift is often, they feel neglected and they feel left out. We might have pizza parties, but what did they get overnight, right? If we're not conscientious of that, we may overlook that. And so one of our partners does a really good job of taking videos during the day with their residents that they're caring for, saying, "Hey, Lacy, I know you're working the overnight shift and we haven't seen you for quite a while, but I just wanted to let you know, Maggie says you're doing a great job with her, and she has told me so many great things. Here's Maggie, wanted to send you a quick video." That associate will play that over and over again and share it with her family members because she's proud and somebody acknowledged her good work. Even though her supervisor may not be working the overnight shift as well, she's getting recognized in a unique and special way.